like, yeah, we know COVID's a thing, and you could go to glory holes. That's it. Please wear a mask if you
Like,
attend
for
glory
those of you
holes.
who either do not know or do not remember... Fuck, they saw me. God damn it, I should have assumed that there was a camera. That said, I don't know if there's anybody even alive left in here. Other than the one dude that's, like, shouting through the fucking walls. He just said, fuck me, god damn it. Canada did, during the early days of COVID, say, like, yeah, hey, you know, practice safe sex during the COVID scandals and stuff. You know, attend your local glory holes. And I'm just like, I don't think that's the way we do it. I don't think that's how we beat COVID. Just gonna say it.
I support it. I support it. Can't get COVID through your pee hole, so
No, but you
get
can through the hole itself. God, just
I don't
what
know,
an
man.
absurd thing for a government to authorize, right? Like,
I'll be your friend.
I mean, if anything, I support them. I
well, I'm
support
not
it. I
saying
support
don't
it.
do it. I'm just saying what a stupid, weird thing to be like, yeah, we we recognize this.
I
Oh, fuck, you're above
support
me.
it like 110%.
Just wash your dick afterwards. Yeah, remember to not touch your dick with your hand and then touch your mouth afterwards, basically. From now on, I really should just turn off all the cameras when I enter a building, huh? Not that the people here are, like, alive anymore. I really don't actually need to be afraid. Oh, wait, is one guy actually still alive? Not for long. God, I love being Hacker Man. There's something so, like to me, I understand that this playstyle might not be super exciting to watch. I understand that it might not be, like, the most optimal way for a lot of people to play. But, like, I love so much, it's so satisfying to me to just walk into a room and watch everybody melt. Like, it's... I don't know, like, it's the power fantasy thing, I guess, right? But, like, the optimal power fantasy of not even needing to actually physically engage or even mentally engage, just the problem has resolved. I have solved the situation. Everything... you know what? It's the God complex. That's what it is. It's the God complex in me just being like, but what if I could just stop people from existing? Because I can admit to having that. I've got the brain problems. I don't actually have, like, a real God complex, but there is definitely some narcissism there.
Oh, 100%. I love you, but Jesus fucking Christ.
See, that's why I love you. Because despite, like, all of the arrogance and, you know, narcissism and the general bad behavior, most of the time you're confident enough to just be like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It keeps me in check.
I do tell you that you're dumb, but you also tell me I'm dumb a lot too.
There's an alternate universe where you were born rich and became a God complex supervillain. There was an alternate universe where I became Elon Musk, except I used the brain chip to make everybody have that that moment from the Kingsman movie where everybody's heads explode. Lex Luthor. I mean, or that, yeah. I mean, Lex Luthor just, like, ran for president at the end of the day. If I ran for, like, prime ministership of Canada, that does fuck all. Like...
I also don't think you'd get elected. No
I
offense.
could swing getting elected. I could do it. Because I can fake being personable enough, well enough, to have an entire class of people like me. I had people like me back in high school when they also thought I was, like, on the verge of school shootering. So, like, if they thought that I was nice then, imagine what me with money could do.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Use the brain chip to plug your streams into their brains. Well, Elon was saying, and I will say, I never want to put an Elon chip in my brain. Just by default. Get that shit out of here. Like, as much as I love Cyberpunk, and as much as I love Deus Ex, and the idea of augmentation, it has to be hardwired. I refuse to have anything like this happen, where you have, like, a Wi-Fi enabled eyeballs and that lets some guy burn your brain. Like, that's fucked. That's stupid. Or just even the ability to jack your eyesight, you know? Like, it's all stupid. And getting that shit in real life is also stupid. But I will say that, I would definitely say that Elon is gonna use those chips for really, really inane purposes. Like, he's gonna tout it like it's something awesome, but then it is just going to be something mostly useless to 95% of the population. Why did you guys get angry at me? I just walked close to you.
Do you still think? I still firmly believe that Elon Musk's son isn't named that, actually.
No,
His
I
name is,
genuinely believe that the name is a cover so that way people don't know who their child really is.
Yeah. Like 100%. There's no fucking way.
That said, Elon did advertise his stupid chip, and this brings it back around because of the mention of, oh, use it to beam your streams into the brain. Elon did say, like, oh yeah, you'll be able to use our chip to listen to music. I'm like, that couldn't go wrong. Nothing could go wrong with allowing your
Just
chip to be used.
as you're sleeping, it's just giving you like some what is it called? Subliminal messages.
Well, I was actually going to bring that up. There's a very good Netflix show. I don't know if you guys have it down there, but there's a very good Netflix show that's made in Brazil, I believe, called 3%. And basically the concept is 97% of the population lives in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, Brazil. And the 3% are the lucky people that have elevated themselves past that and are allowed to live on this nice, beautiful island and have all the amazing future technology. The characters in that all have implants behind the ear to track them and shit like that, right? And for the most part, it doesn't affect you in society. And it doesn't get used on you in any way. It just is a technology that exists. They just kind of have it. Yeah, that stops being a thing shortly after when it starts to become a real threat and they start using it to subliminally message one guy and hypnotize him into sabotaging a thing.
See, that's what I'd be worried that would happen.
It would definitely be a thing that would happen. If the government could
It's like
figure out how to do it,
the government already
do it.
tries to. The government, like not government, but like
The
companies
US
already try to. Yeah, already try to do that sort of thing. Like if you're watching TV, you'll just like get like a blip of something that shows up. Or like the fuck's that? And then it turns out it's like, oh, it's an ad or something that showed up in like half a frame of like Law and Order.
So the mentioning of the DMCA thing, I told Rachel about that, and she thought it was very stupid, and then I told Easy about it, and Easy thought it was very stupid. So everybody seems to think it's stupid, but to make it even dumber is that guy got paid like $25,000. He didn't even get paid like real money. So to remind you, there's a guy who's trying to sneak in on a bill for the coronavirus.
Yeah,
support.
that if
You
Twitch
become
streamers
a felon
get
if you get a DMCA. Yeah. Brain chip sissification brainwashing porno. Holy fuck. That is the future. What? I'm sorry, what's happening right now? My character is getting shot by drones. I'm dead, in fact. I lost control of my character as well. I couldn't make him stop walking forward. What happened there? Where did those drones come from? There's a million questions that I could be asking right now. And instead, while my game decides to take a while to load, I'm gonna give me another piece of this chocolate orange. 25K, I mean, yeah, it's money, but it's a U.S. Republican senator. Really that hard up for cash? Yes. Wait, why the fuck are we back here? Dude, this was our last save? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, Elon would love for the future to just be... like, let me pay for things I want and the government does it. I would argue most company people would love that. I welcome our new
What's your
femdom
favorite...
overlords. Oh my god.
What's your favorite... Hold on. I need
Anything to get us away from the discussion of brain altering sissification chips.
What is your favorite oh my fucking god.
Yeah?
Never mind, because I can't think of the word and I don't feel like describing it, so
I feel like I just I feel like I just got strung along on like the weakest con.
What the fuck are they called? Conspiracy theories. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Like you
All
don't
that
you know
for
what
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, like you know, I kept saying controversy in my head. I'm like, that's it. That's not it. But like, what's your like? My favorite one is that we've never been to space. It's all been like filmed in like some studio. That's my favorite conspiracy theory because my dad
The
believes
moon
it. Which
being
is
hollow,
hilarious.
I love that one. Moon hollow is good.
Moon's haunted.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Well, here's the thing. I know so many of them.
Okay, well, pick one. Pick one that, like, whenever, like, you see something about it, you're just like, I'll read and or watch this again.
So it's... Is it okay if I give one that's not straight up just a conspiracy? If you know what I mean?
No, but go ahead, because I don't care.
So my favorite is tied to the moon being hollow, and mine is that the Earth is actually hollow. And that within the hollow Earth, there is a society referred to as Agartha. And that some dude fucking found that on his goddamn stupid fishing boat in the middle of the goddamn fucking Arctic. And that if you get down through Agartha, that's like where the real Shangri-La is. And inside of Agartha is and you'll recognize this as the thing I stole for part of the storyline for our people at one point. When you get down to the center of it, instead of having like a big core like the planet is supposed to have, like a big metal core that keeps everything all smooshed together, it's got a big crystal sun. Because I love the idea of big glow sun. Oh, is this the one that's in Secret World Legends? They did use the Agartha thing in Secret World, but I knew about Agartha, like, as a child. But yeah, I love Agartha. Agartha's cool.
Okay, alright. Have you ever seen that thing where, seen that video where, like, the middle of Earth is hell because, like, some guys dug super deep, and then, like, they found, it's like, hey, listen to audio, and I'm like, yeah, that just sounds like gas.
Well,
and,
also,
like,
the world
magma.
is, like, an eternally... Yeah, the world is an eternally moving object.
Thing.
Like...
So it's, like, it just sounds like a bunch of stuff moving around, and, like, if a four-legged furry creature that runs in the woods called a puma can scream like a woman can, I'm pretty sure, like, a world-sized thing of gas and magma and moving rock can make some weird noises that sounds like screaming. Like, and like, also people have this thing where, like, if they hear something or see something, you instantly try to make a face out of it or something that you can,
Again, pattern recognition.
So it's like, of course, it's just like when I hear something, like, outside, or if I see something, I'm like, it's a ghost. It's gotta be. Because it looks like a face, and you're like, that's a thumbprint on...
That guy just glitched.
And it's just like that kind of shit, I think, is funny. I also really think how people, like, Area 51 is like where they keep all the alien shit. I'm like,
We gonna get
I
them
feel like
aliens.
I feel like at this point the government keeps Area 51 as a meme. I feel like there's like one group of people that have to watch it, but like all of the cool, interesting shit they move to like Area 50.2.
Well, no, like it, it still served its purpose back in the day, which is it's still a fucking
Absolutely.
It's still
Absolutely.
It's still a
But
fucking
I
Air
still
Force
think-
hangar.
But I still think now they just have it there for the meme. Like,
I-
if you broke in, there'd be like a couple of planes. That's about it.
I think, and this is maybe controversial. I think that's all that there was ever there anyway.
100%, because I don't think like we ever were visited by like aliens. But like, I'm sure there's bases that have to have like top secret shit that like no one can see. I just don't think. I feel like at one point maybe Area 51 was that, and not anymore. But then like people are like,
Ah,
oh,
fuck.
did you ever hear that recording where a guy said he worked at Area 51 midway through telling like this podcast what happened at Area 51? He like got cut. I'm like, yeah, probably because the government was like, we don't want this guy spreading bullshit and making people
You're still
freak
not
out.
supposed to talk about. Well, you're also still not supposed to talk about any of that stuff after you quit. Like,
Yeah, but
you're
like
still
here's the
under
thing:
an
the guy.
NDA.
Here's the thing though: the guy was just like,
Not
the
rinsed over,
aliens
so we
aren't
don't get
what we
shot.
seem. They're other dimensional beings that are always with us.
See, I'm
And I'm
okay with
like-
that one.
You'd be okay with like aliens, just they're not like from space; they're from another fucking
How
dimension.
did they fuck this up again?
Do you believe in like other dimensions?
I believe in the possibility of it, just because, like, scientifically we have established that there are quote-unquote dimensions of, like, scale and, like, physics and stuff, so...
I hope other dimensional me's doing okay.
Well, it's
Like,
not,
better than what
that's,
I'm doing.
That's, like, parallel realities. That's a different circumstance.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I hope, like, if there is another Rachel out there, who's me, and, like, I hope they just have, like, $2,000 more in savings. That's it.
I mean, I know that if there is another reality where it's, like... It's just parallels and parallels. Like, it's like the mirror universe of Star Trek, right? There is definitely a universe where I, instead of being a fat bearded man,
You're a woman?
no, I was going to say I am a clean-cut, fit man that is committing murders. That is definitely the other... Because there's too many times I've watched things that are like serial killer people and just been like, you shouldn't be relating to this. That's not a good look, you know? So it's like I can totally see in like the parallel mirror reality where instead I'm just attractive. I'm using
Pretty
that to kill
handsome
people.
now.
Like there have been numerous times in my life where I have just been like one thread from just doing a bad. Not necessarily like a kill, but a bad. And so like one of them
Like
is
punching your dad in the face?
No, that under your circumstances that's definitely a reasonable one. But I'm meaning like there have been times where I was like holding on to like an extremely sharpened pencil, looking at the back of a kid that was like a huge problem.
Not a pencil!
And just being like, I could just jam this into the back of his skull right now and he's not even looking. And if I thrust it in far enough, I might be able to paralyze this kid, if not straight up kill him. And I'm sitting there
Not
like,
a pencil. I don't think a pencil could do that.
oh yeah, no, they're extremely effective.
I don't think a pencil.
To the base of the
I just think
spine?
I just think little 12-year-old you is edgy.
No, that wasn't even like 12-year-old. That was much later. And it was just me sitting there like, I could do this. Have you not seen people stab people with shit?
I mean, like, it's never been like I've never seen a man die from a pencil stab wound. Just because I feel like the pencil would break before it got too deep.
Nah, they're thick enough. But my dad
I don't think so.
My dad when he was in high school got stabbed with a pen.
Man, I got stabbed with scissors.
Rachel, did you not see The Dark Knight?
But that's
Also,
an
check your
eyeball.
PayPal. Well, yeah, but like, have you ever felt the space at the back of your head? It's very soft. That's why if you when you're on like a bike, you have to wear a helmet that protects the back of your skull. because if you get an impact to the base of the spine, it can cripple you. And
Maybe I
yes,
just don't
like,
pay
you're not
attention
wrong.
to
Like,
this shit because I'm not like
young me was very
edgy.
edgy, but on the other hand, young me also did literally, like, get into fights constantly with people. Despite my best efforts not to.
I feel like people got into fights with you because they're like, let's pick on the edgy boy, and then edgy boy
No,
like
it was
was trained how to
it was always
how
other
to fight.
assholes.
Yeah, because they're like, let's pick on this edgy kid. Here's the thing: nobody, when they are edgy, thinks that they are edgy.
Oh, I knew I was.
Most people, when they are edgy, they don't think that they're edgy. They think that like, I'm the coolest cat, and it's like, no.
I feel like this is one of those, like, Noid doesn't count things, because young me was always
Literally.
just like, I'm the biggest dork. I am the supreme nerd.
Hey, at least your like senior quote was like a Death Note quote, because mine was.
I don't remember what I did for that.
Only
I might
reason
have just
I
not
brought
done
that up.
anything.
Only reason I brought that up is because my mom pulled out my senior book and she was just like, "Want to see something funny?" And she pulled up the fact that I had a Death Note. Like literally, my senior quote was just the #1 like rule in the Death Note.
Honestly, I kind of dig that though.
And because everybody else had like country songs, like God loving stuff, which is fine. And then I just had the Death Note rules. That's my senior quote. Because I think I had one of the rules, and then Heather, one of my best friends at the time, had another rule.
I think this has been brought up before. I'm having deja vu.
Yeah, it has.
Just because I remember Pasta saying we didn't have senior quotes. That's what triggered the memory of me being like, I think we've had this discussion.
Also, wanna know what makes me really mad? We like most likely to succeed, yada yada yada. I got fucking class clown. And I'm like, out of all the fucking no. Because here's the thing, nobody liked me aside from my 3 friends that I had in high school until senior year. For whatever reason, the moment senior year hit, everybody loved me. And I'm like, I hate this. Where were you guys when I was getting, like, swirlied in the girls' bathroom?
See, and this is where I don't get it, because I was extreme anime nerd man, edgelord, like, loner asshole. And yet everyone liked me. And I don't... Like, I tried so hard for people to not like me, because I didn't want to have to interact, right? And to this day, I don't get why people were... Did I activate the robots by accident? No, I've just turned on the cameras. Like, I don't understand why people liked me.
I remember senior year, right? We're doing, like, it's like... Because, like, before... I don't know how your guys' school worked, but, like, in the morning, we had the quote-unquote morning announcements,
Yeah, the
and then we had then we had evening announcements.
Evening announcements?
Yep, before we left, we always had, and it was always like, hey, this bus, yeah, like, hey, or afternoon.
Okay, sorry, I was like, how late were you guys there?
Jesus Christ, school ended at 4 for us.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, we got there at 8 a.m. and we were there till.
We got it. We would start at like 9 and we would end at 3.
Wish. Which sucked because when I turned 14, I started working after school, so it's like it was hell. But we had the afternoon announcements, and it was always stuff like, you know, like, hey, bus number 6 is gonna be late, or like, if you live on this street, please ride this bus, blah blah blah, blah, shit like that. But senior year, they're like, okay, time to announce, like, homecoming queen. And it was just me. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? Like, no. And then I told them, like, I don't want to be homecoming queen. Don't want that. And they're like, well, why? Homecoming queen is like it's like a fun thing. I'm like, I don't want that responsibility, no thank you. So then Tori got it. She was like, I wanted to be homecoming queen. I'm like... Which, like, I never understood, like, the big... Here's the thing, my senior prom, everybody made such a big deal about senior prom. I bought my dress, because Heather, my best friend at the time, spent $3,000 on her senior prom dress. I spent $30 at a dress that I found at Goodwill. Went there for 15 minutes, took a couple pictures with my friends, and then I went home. Because I'm like, wow, this is really lame. All it's going to be is just us standing around and like us being like, we graduate in 6 days. Meh. Like, and that's stupid.
I skipped prom and only went to after prom. See, here's the thing. I don't drink, I don't party, I don't like to hang out with people. My prom consisted of me going, fuck it, I'm gonna stay home, and I'm pretty sure I just played Dark Souls. After getting into a fight with my girlfriend. And
that's because did she want to go to prom and you were like, nah?
She didn't want me to go to prom. She wanted to go to prom, and I was like, fine, fuck it, whatever, go. Like, I wanted to hang out. Right? But she wanted to go. I was like, fine, fuck it, go. Like, that's fine. Go on. But then she went, and, like, the people she went with were just, like, trash humans. And so I was like, great, because now I know she's gonna end up, like, drinking and stuff. And, like, here's the thing. With you, I should probably be more, like, I understand that you're... Like, I can't control people. I know that, literally speaking, right?
I don't abuse drinking, though.
Well, no, but what I was gonna say is, like, I know that with you, your dad kind of does. And so there is definitely a preconceived, like, possible genetic alcoholism, right? But you, most of the time, don't overdo it. Whereas her mom, dad, and sisters were all such bad alcoholics that I was like... Maybe just don't drink for me. Just because your family falls apart when you, like, have people drinking. And it just became... I
would respect that.
It just became a thing of, like, because she hung out with her family all the time, they'd always end up drinking, and her friends were always drinking, and I was just like, this is a big stress in the relationship.
Because my dad is an alcoholic, and he says he's not, I'm like... Because my dad is an alcoholic, I'm prone to, like... I mean, there are times where it's like, I'm getting drunk tonight because fuck the day I've had. Like, tomorrow, I plan on getting hammered after work. The only reason I'm not getting drunk tonight is because I have to work tomorrow at 5 in the morning.
Which is a reasonable thing to go and say, like, you're being responsible about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, tomorrow, getting hammered. I already have the alcohol in my fridge.
What the fuck happened with that car? What is happening with that car?
But, like, that, if you told me, like, hey, I don't like you drinking, like, can you limit it from, like,
got the data.
4 glasses like I usually have to just 1, I'd be like, okay, sure. Because I know, like, if you were doing something that made me upset and I was like, hey, can you limit that? Like, if I was, like, if we lived together and, like, could you not paint your models as much because I spend time with you more? Or you'd be like, okay.
Yeah. I can make, like, legendary weapons. Sorry.
But I wouldn't want to be like, Megan and her husband, who she's like, you can't play D&D at all anymore.
Dude, like, that one fucks me up. And not even the D&D thing, just, like, the whole situation.
Yeah, yep. She's just a bitch. Like, an actual bitch. And I feel bad for saying that, but, like, oof.
Sometimes humans just, like, are terrible people, though.
Who the fuck's texting me? My phone keeps going off. I gotta work tomorrow. What the hell?
Smart assault rifle.
Dad's texting me. Shut up, Dad. No one cares. He's real mad because not mad, but he's like paranoid because. But he's paranoid because I'm not talking.
What is?
And I'm like, gee, I fucking wonder why.
Yeah, like, what does he think?
I don't know. He's just like, hey, you want to make sure you're okay? Love ya. Like, okay.
Nah, we're not talking right now. Sorry.
Nope. I'm talking to my mom. I'm making sure she's okay. Because she's just like, I was really dumb. But granted, this my dad, like, assaulted my mother. I don't want to say assaulted, because that makes it sound like he beat her up, but he did shove her into the wall.
Yo, Netrunner suit. I can't wear it, though.
But I bought him, like, these little...
stuff.
because like the only thing you can buy for my dad is like expensive watches and alcohol.
Oh, he's one of those guys, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I can't afford a $600 watch, but I can't afford a fucking, $80 bottle of whatever the fuck I bought him, brown liquor. It was because I know it was like he wanted Irish coffee, and I'm like, what the fuck do you make Irish coffee with? And the person was like, this, and I went, is it good? Yes, thank you. About those and like these little like, because you're not supposed to put ice in like darker liquor because it waters it down, so they're like little like metal things that go in the freezer. They get cold and you put, but they're in the shape of they're in the shape of bullets,
which he loves.
Which he loves because he's an American.
Yeah,
he's a Republican.
He loves bullets.
So he looked at those and he was like, oh, that's cool. And then like he looked at the alcohol, got really mad because like it wasn't Jack Daniels.
Oh, come on.
It was Gentleman's Jack, which is fancier than Jack Daniels.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I will say one thing, and this is the. I think I fucked this up. God damn it. Hold on.
No.
Yeah,
let me finish.
Sorry, go on.
You do not. If someone gets you a present, you do not have the right to be like, I don't like this. In my opinion, if somebody gives me something that I don't like, if somebody gives me something that I do not like, I will not say that I do not like it to their face. I will go, thank you very much, and then once they leave, I will either get rid of it or gift it to somebody else. So.
Oh wait, it's a cyber psycho.
And this was after he already shoved my mom and I punched him in the head, and he was just like, I don't like Gentleman's Jack. It's weaker than Jack Daniels. And I just sort of looked at him and I'm like, you're putting it in Irish coffee. It doesn't need to be strong. Mom already said, like, you're limited to one Irish coffee and that's it. He's just like, well, your mom doesn't make the rules. And I'm like, here. Oh, and then, like, he started going off like, I'm going to burn the house
something
down.
Interesting. Welcome to about a third of what happens in this set of streams. We're either ranting about people's familial history, talking about various horrifying internet, faculties, or alternatively just generally bitching.
But so and like so after like
how much
he shoved my mom,
you fucking have,
and after I like decked him in the head. And by the way, you taught me how to punch, and thank you.
How did I?
You taught me.
Oh, you mean from like when you were here?
Yeah, you taught me how to punch, so it didn't hurt my hand.
Yeah, a lot of good that did me, huh?
And I was just like, hey, I don't want to like break my hand, and I just like, I'm hitting him.
Or bitching about U.S. healthcare. Yeah, because you guys fucking have atrocious healthcare.
Which of course he was just like, I'm gonna call the cops. Oh, and I'm like, fucking do it.
What's
bitch.
that? Yeah, I love the idea of, well, I'm going to call the police on you. Okay, cool. Do you want to tell them how you were attacking your wife?
Yeah. And so, after all that, and after my mom's just like, my mom's like, you guys, we need to calm down. It's Christmas Eve, blah, blah, blah. It's Christmas, it's holiday.
Imagine paying more than you need to, really.
He starts talking about how, like, the house is trash. Like, the house is a dump. And I'm like, the outside could use some work. But, like, you guys also live in, like,
the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, who the fuck cares what the outside looks like? The inside's fine. But this all happened because they have an unfinished basement, which means the ground, the floor of the basement is dirt.
Wait,
there's like a slab. What? Yeah, unfinished basement. The ground.
We had what we
like
called
dirt.
An unfinished basement, and that's why we had the kill room. And then, like,
no, most of the time, if you have a quote unquote finished basement, it means that the ground is concrete. That's a finished basement. An unfinished basement is the ground is dirt. That's what my parents had. They had like a slab of concrete where like all of like the important stuff sat. So like the washer, the dryer, the heat tank or whatever the fuck it's like, the water heater, whatever. All that important shit was on the slab of concrete. Everything else was dirt, right? And every time it rains, it floods a little.
They were almost dead, chat. We could have just waited. They were almost dead.
It floods a little because half the basement is dirt. And we're so it used to be a thing where like basement flooded. You know the moon's haunted? That was us, just basement flooded. And then you'd go, you press a button, this pump sucks all the water and shoots it out into the swamp, and then you're fucking fine.
My orange is melting.
But like the fucking pump wasn't working, which is fine. It just means you have to manually
grow
pump
potatoes in your basement.
And we did have mushrooms down there, by accident. It wasn't like a choice. But
this is like listening to a podcast. Welcome to what everyone always says about my streams.
Shut up, fucking let me finish. So we have a pump where normally you press a button, it sucks all the water and shoots it out, right? But the pump last night broke, which is the first thing that made my dad. It just made my dad, for whatever fucking reason, snap. And I get it, because instead of like an inch of water, an inch or two of water like it normally is, it was literally 6 inches of water. Like, he had a right to be upset, but he didn't have a right to,
now
like,
have 40 Danish crowns. Oh, Danish.
He didn't have a right to start like yelling at me, at my mom. He threatened to shoot the dog and like pointed his gun at the dog. Like, it was like, what the fuck, Dad?
Your dad might have had what I'm going to call
an episode.
An episode. Welcome
but
to
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You rewind 7 months back when he started having heat strokes and he never went to the doctor for them. Like, he'd call and he'd
yeah,
and
that
like,
was really fucked, right?
And they're like, hey, yeah, like, it sounds like you had a heat stroke. Even though it's just a heat stroke, you should probably come in so we can do some scans. He went, nah.
He probably destroyed his brain.
He also has lost 80 pounds in 3 months and he's not exercising. And he's just like, yeah, my guts just constantly hurt. I'm like, Dad, it sounds like you might have this one thing called cancer. Like, what the fuck? Your brain's fried because you had 3 heat strokes in a month. Your stomach is, he's just like, yeah, just like, it always hurts. It always hurts. And like, there's like blood in my shit. And I'm like, that sounds like cancer, father. He's like, it's fine. And then he went and he bought one of those bracelets like that says like, do not resuscitate. And like every day he's like, okay. So anyway, he's threatening. I hate my dad, but I love him so much. He's threatening the dog. Like, he pulls out his stupid little pistol and he's pointing it at the dog. This is Christmas Eve, by the way. It was just 2 days yesterday. And he was just like, because the dog, like, when Dad starts yelling, the dog gets angry and it like tries to protect Mom. She tries to protect Mom. Like, she gets in between them and she snarls and everything.
Probably because
he's
been fucking hitting her.
And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you fucking stupid dog. I'm gonna fucking blow your brains out. I'll rip your goddamn head off, blah, blah. And the entire time I'm just sort of sitting there, and my mom, like, she's to the point, she's like, oh yeah, this happens like once a month. And I'm like, ugh!
That's not healthy.
And my mom's just sitting there, she's crying, my dad doesn't realize it. He's downstairs in a huff. And I'm trying to help him. He's just like, the fucking pipe broke. And I'm like, okay, where did it, he's like, it split right in two. I'm like, we have JB Weld. Why can't we just, it's like some stupid, it's 2 different glues, you mix them together, it turns into concrete. I'm like, why can't we just use like that as like a makeshift glue to glue the pipe together? It will hold until you can like go buy another pipe. And he's like, we're poor. I'm like, Dad, you make $200,000 a year. You need to shut the fuck up.
Even after
about
taxes.
Being poor. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He might be poor, but I put a big asterisk on poor here, right? He might be poor.
He's poor in the fact that he has a
money.
Giant house. Yeah, he's a giant house. He buys wine. He buys watches. He spoils my mom. It's like, yeah, you're poor. No, you're just fucking stupid.
Lovingly into Johnny's eyes.
So like, he's downstairs and I'm just looking at my mom, and she's just like, oh yeah, this happens like once a month. This is normal. And I'm like, in my mind, I can't tell you should probably get a divorce because she won't handle that. But I'm just looking at her. She's like, but I love him and I forgive him every time. I just have to watch what I say. And I'm like, this is abuse, mother. So he comes back upstairs and he's like looking for like a clasp to connect the 2 things together. And he's pissed. He's like, I have to manually pump it. I'm sorry I fucking ruined Christmas. I'm going to be down there all fucking night. And I'm like, do you need help, Dad? He's like, no, because if you go down there, you're going to electrocute yourself. I only want to die. You can't die with me.
I only want to die.
And I'm like, okay. He's like, God's going to take me tonight. He's gonna. And he's like downstairs, and he's like, and here's the thing. My dad, when he gets in these moods.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand what he like. He gets tunnel vision, and he can't see the full like.
He doesn't have the depth of the
Yeah.
understanding of it.
And so he breaks the pipe. Instead of just breaking the pipe, he like somehow complete. So it's like instead of like breaking, so just a little bit of water's leaking out from the flooded pump thing. He snaps it completely off, so water shoots out like fire hydrant style, hits him in the chest, knocks him under the ground, and so he's just sitting in 6 inches of just muddy, gross water. And he's already panicking because of like the washer and dryer, and he was stupid and didn't unplug them first. And like so the water hits the washer and dryer, and so now like my mom has to go buy another washer, and maybe not the washer, but definitely the dryer. And he's just like, we just hear him like, God damn it, motherfucker, blah 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 blah. And mom just sort of kind of just looks at me, and she grabs wine and she just opens it and starts drinking. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? So then dad comes back up. Mom's like quickly sipping her wine so he doesn't notice her sipping her wine. And she tells him, she's like, hey, she's like, you and I, she's like, you, he noticed her crying. He's like, why the fuck are you crying?
Oh,
and she's like,
good.
She's like, what you said really hurt my feelings. She's like, and he's like, I didn't say anything bad to you. And then it was almost like a Park Wreck moment where like I stare at like a camera and I just looked like, what? And he's like, I never fucking said anything. And I get up because he's getting heated. The dogs are getting pissed. Like both dogs now are like snarling, growling, and like staring at him like gonna eat you. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I didn't say any of that shit. And then he shoves her into the counter.
Jesus Christ.
And it's not like a light shove, like a get out of my way, you're in my way. It was like a both hands on her and like you're a bad back. And she's my mom is so frail.
Like,
and so she like
I do want
to
just say as a preface, sorry to interrupt. It's like this is some heavy shit. So like I do apologize to anybody who's like, oh no, this might be a lot. But also, I'm glad for those of you who are at least taking part and or getting some enjoyment out of being here.
I need to talk to somebody about it. Streams are my therapy session.
Yeah, she gets the vent.
And so he shoves her into the counter. She drops the bottle, like the glass of wine, it shatters. And so now he's pissed. Now he's pissed off that there's glass all over the floor. And but before he can even say anything about the glass being on the floor, I don't know what came over me. But the moment I saw his hands touch her, I'm like, that's my mom. Like I didn't look at him like that's my dad. I looked at her like. I'm like, that's my mother. How dare... Like, I get pissed off when we're in Walmart and someone bumps into my mom and doesn't say excuse me. Like, I don't know what... Like, I know my mom's a piece of shit and she doesn't treat me well and she's, like, Republican as fuck and hates the gays and everything. Basically, she hates everything that I am. But, like, it's like, that's my mom. You can't... No. And so, I just walked up and I just punched him. Like, I uppercutted him in the jaw. Because he's taller than me, so I couldn't, like, I just uppercutted him. And he, like, stumbles back, he grabs the counter, and he's just like, did you fucking punch me? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it again. And so he, like,
certified moment. See, here's the thing, I'm genuinely proud of her for it, though.
And so he, like, storms downstairs. Mom's crying. I've been pissed before, but I was, like, shaking. I was so fucking pissed. Because I think I text you. Like, I just had to punch my dad.
Yeah, you did.
And, like, I clean up the glass for my mom. I clean up the wine. She's crying. She's like, I can't believe you just punched your father. And I'm like, I thought he was going to hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm like, I won't ever do it again. I'm very sorry. Please, I'm sorry, Mom. She's like,
I
no,
wouldn't
it's
even
okay.
fucking say sorry. I'd be like, I did you a favor.
She's like, it's okay. She's just like, everybody's just antsy, blah, blah. And then he comes up the stairs and acts like nothing fucking happened.
Oh, yeah, you are time zoned.
He walked up,
what the
like,
fuck was
nothing happened. Walks up, he's just like, hey, I'm gonna set an alarm for 2 a.m. I'm gonna go down to check he's like, I got the pump working. It's gonna pump, hopefully, because, like, it was raining a lot. He's like, hope once it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he calms down. But then he starts, like, 10 minutes later talking about how he wants to burn the whole house down because the house is a dump. and he hopes that the house like burns to the ground, and he hopes that he dies in it. And then my mom's crying again, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it was just so. And then like morning comes, like we all go to sleep. I sleep in the living room, you know. Mom sleeps in the living room with me because there's like 2 big lounge chairs. She sleeps in one, I sleep in the other, and the dogs are with us. Dad's like pissed because he's laying in bed by himself. And morning comes and it's like nothing happened. He gets like he gets a little pissy because of the whole I gave him a alcohol thing, which like go fuck yourself. I bought you a nicer bottle than what you wanted. But like after that, nothing. And it's just like everything goes as is. And I'm like, I don't know if the stroke fried your brain. I don't like the strokes have fried your brain. I don't know if, because I feel like a doctor would be like, you don't have to come in unless you have to come in. I feel like they'd only say that if you had to go in. Because, like, the doctor was like, you should come in because we need to do, what is it, like a CT whatever fucking scan? Where, like, they scan the head?
Pasta said what is objectively the most right statement, which was your dad needs medical and mental help, but punching him was completely the right call.
Thank you, Pasta. Because I felt like shit afterwards. And then, like, my mom, like, we're trying to, like...
Neither of her parents deserve her, but you know who does? My mom. And that's even with the crazy, stupid bullshit my mom says.
Your mom loves me for
fuck's
some
sake.
reason.
Get out of here, spider monkey.
I don't know if your mom tells you, but we text each other like every morning.
Yeah, she gets like a little bit weird whenever you don't message her. Cause she's just like, Rachel hasn't messaged me in a couple of days. Oh, I fucked that one up.
No, I'm gonna make it like I have.
What if I want to become famous? Then what? Then you get your own channel started, and then you get the bots, and then you click on the phishing link that steals your Twitch account.
But it's like and like last night we made the gingerbread house is kind of, but it was one of those things where like mom wanted like a sense of normalcy, and she's like, we need to get back to like, because our tradition is we make gingerbread houses.
She was trying to contain the situation and maintain control.
And she was doing, like, the best she could, but now and then I'd look over at her and she would be, like, tense and, like, crying. And, like, my dad's joking, like, trying to. And then here's what really got dark and, like, a little scary. And it's why, like, after the gingerbread houses, I kind of went silent for a minute. My mom and I made, like, normal gingerbread houses. And here's the thing. We always try to keep ours hidden until they're done. And then we go, like, haha, look at them. Here they are. Mine was shit. My mom's fell apart, which
it's getting dark really hard. Now.
Oh yeah, it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. My dad made Auschwitz.
What?
Because we bought a gingerbread town with building.
This is one of those moments where I wish that I had the camera like pointed at me, because when you said that, my reaction was that I just leaned to the side and just like put my face in my hands.
So he made. Let me lay this scene out for you.
I made what Dad's trying to do for the house. Well,
here's the thing.
Night Tucker.
We each got 2. So Night Tucker. He had 3 buildings, right? Because we were wondering, like, he like made like a little thing where we couldn't see it or anything. And he used okay. He made a sign. He made a sign that says 2 showers. Like, go to the showers. Put it over one of the buildings. Put little marshmallow men. Like, you got a toothpick and put, like, 3 on the toothpick so it looked like a little snowman. And he cut the tops of gummy drops off to put it on so it looked like yarmulkes. And then he made little German soldiers.
Where's Nick when we need him?
Pointing guns at the Islamic Jewish marshmallow men. And then he had another one that said gas chamber, and he took a torch to it to make it look like it was on fire. And he had like a little little marshmallow Jewish person laying on the ground, right? And then he melted a red gummy, so it looked like they were bleeding out. And then he had marshmallow men soldiers surrounding him with guns that were like matchsticks, like matches, pointed at the Marshmallow Man on the ground. And he was so proud of this.
I'm with you, Misty. I don't know about this one.
He was so proud of it. And he took a photo and he was like, I should post this to Twitter. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't, Dad.
That will get him banned immediately.
And so all he did was send it to all of his friends. Friends thought funny. And then he starts going about how he's never met a good Jew. And I'm like,
what?
Dad, I'm like, I don't think you should go on this tangent. He went on the tangent about
Can I call the police on Rachel's mom's behalf?
No, you can't.
This is infinitely worse than was anticipated, by the way. Like, when you said that he made Auschwitz, like, I should stress, I have the perfect copy pasta for these kind of things. There is an emote in the Super Best Friends / Castle Super Beast Twitch channel, which is Patchwitz, which is a tasteless joke. But it's fine compared to I made gingerbread Auschwitz.
Because normally his gingerbread houses are like he has a penis somewhere on it, and we're like, haha, that's right. He made.
Am I allowed to?
He went all in.
I mean, you've asked permission, so sure, as long as it doesn't have like a thing that's gonna get anyone banned, like yourself.
And it was just
and by Twitch,
so...
I mean. No TOS, yeah.
It was just so bizarre. And the fact that he was, like, proud of it.
A code bruv level 4. Oh my god.
And it was just, like, the fact that he was, like, insanely proud of it that, like, really disturbed my mom and I. Like, ugh. So my mom's like, she's like, don't tell your father. And I'm like, why the f would I? Because at this point, I'm like, maybe I really should cut all ties with him. She was like, I really think I'm gonna...
Chief? Yeah, basically.
It's like, she's trying to, like, band the family together to, like, tell him, like, you need to go to see, like, a therapist. Or at least, like, get on medication.
See how much HP they have.
Like, I said, I'm like,
oh, they're
maybe
almost
it's...
done. Okay, cool.
Like, because he is 50... He's 57. I'm like, could it be, like,
could be early onset dementia.
You know, and he's
they healed him. What was that? Sorry, this character is like bugging out a little bit.
I did my ranting and I feel better. Aside from like the
fucking tail.
Yeah, so that's how my Christmas. Hope everybody else's Christmases were better. Oh, of course, and then you told me, like, hey, I don't want you staying there because your dad has guns, so, like, through the night, I'm like, is my dad gonna shoot me?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't mean to worry you by saying stuff like that, but it is a legitimate, like fear in the United States.
Oh, yeah, like, I was scared, and my mom's like, no, that's gonna happen. And I'm like, I hope not.
I guess, like, if Christmas I don't... yesterday, or the 24th, that is. Yep.
It was just, I don't know.
Fuck, they hurt!
I'm happy to be back in my apartment with my cat, who's like really excited that I came home, but only when I can give her soup. Because once I gave her soup, she didn't care anymore.
I mean, I don't think that they didn't care, it's just welcome to cats.
Yeah, she was like, cool, you're home.
Huh. Get out. Why do I just not murder these people? Why do I insist on poisoning them all so that way it counts as a non-lethal?
Where are you? Huh?
Where are you? I'm literally in front of you.
So, hopefully
the best thing about
everybody
cats is they're not dogs. What?
Hopefully everybody else's Christmases were better.
They have a gun! I didn't think this blade arm person had a gun. Dog usually rams into you. Yeah, dogs can be overzealous sometimes.
I think my internet's going out.
Oh, that's not good.
Or like, it's just Google being weird. All right. Another thing that's like minor and doesn't, like, I have no room to complain. I didn't get anything I wanted for Christmas. Literally all I wanted was a kalimba. That's all I wanted.
They never get you what you want, though, is the thing.
No, never get carrot cake.
I had to buy all my presents. Yeah, I mean, that, I feel like... I don't know how old you are, but I feel like as you get older, that kind of becomes the reality, is that you usually just get yourself the things you want anyway. Like, I know that other than the camera and, like, those Warhammer guys, my mom struggled to find things to get me because I just bought, like, those 2 big, huge Warhammer kits on my own.
Like, I'm 100% tempted to just, like, I wait till I get paid or do another commission and get the kalimba. Because it's only 30 bucks. It's like, I should just fucking get it.
Suffering through life for 2 centuries and 2 years. Alright, fair enough. Another ageless being.
Sure did. You can come out now.
Wait.
You know when you open your eyes in the morning and think, this is gonna be a shitty
Well,
day,
if you got 10,
that
just
nothing will
need
go the way it
20
should?
more. Oh, did you send her, like, $10?
Well, this was one of
He
those
did.
days.
How much is a century?
Wish
100
I
years.
just
Yeah.
stayed in bed.
The other girl.
Which, thank you.
Look, I failed
Upstairs.
math at the lowest level of
She's
high school.
alive, but she's
Hey,
in a
so,
bad way.
I also did terrible in math, to the
back
extent that
together?
I just dropped down to the lowest
I
level.
can't, but Regina will send
Two
someone
decades
around.
and 2 years.
We'll all be
Okay, so
okay.
you're around the age brackets. God, I'm starting to
She's
get old
playing-
compared to people, though.
She's playing with her toys that I got her for
Why'd that
Christmas.
girl blow a fuse?
Why do people get
Oh, can I
such
tell you? I
suspicious
think, like, I'm starting to
was too keen
cat
on
my
finding out.
Sorry?
Well,
I'm
that's
starting
my
to
job
realize
then.
that my cat
Till
might be
next time.
fat. I got her a little.
Fucking
We've been saying this.
I got her a little tunnel, right? And I
She
didn't
can't
realize
quite fit
it is.
through it.
It is for kittens. It is for kittens. Okay, or small cats. It says it's a kitten to a small cat size, right? Which I'm like, Gimpop is like in my mind. I'm like, oh, she's like a small cat. That's fine. And then I got it, and she got stuck in the tunnel, so she can't go through the tunnel. And it makes me really sad because it's like, this is my fault. I keep feeding you. Like, I need to cut back on the food, but when I do, she meows at me and she gets angry. You want to
Yeah.
play fetch?
Sometimes you have to stand up. Like, think about a child. Think about a human child. And when they
Well,
when
that's
they
the
throw a
thing, when
temper
you're-
tantrum in a store.
When we have a child, you'll have to be the one to put the foot down, because I'll just be like, oh yeah, sure, here. So get ready for that. That'll be your job. I'll change diapers. You need to do discipline, because I can't.
See, like there's a precedent of me being like a really shit kid sometimes, right? But there's other things where it's just like I realize that, and again, it's partly the narcissism, don't get me wrong. I fucked that one up right hard, didn't I? Because if I go over onto that and I pick 7A, it's not going to allow me to take the 55, is it? Yeah, fuck it. We're just going to back it. We're going to redo this one. My brain is not working great right now.
Oh, it's because we were talking. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, but like, child me was, for the most part, really well behaved, aside from, like, a couple of instances. But, like, there are times of me... I can't hack this thing now? I think this thing might just be bugging out a little bit. I think it's fine. I think we'll just ignore it. We'll move on. There was like an instance that because I don't use it when I stream, and because when I do use it when I stream, you guys always like point it out. But like I have a fairly extensive vocabulary. I know the words. I know the good words. As Trump would say, I have the best words. But like
I have the best words.
But like I don't use them a lot of the time during streams because whenever I do, you or Nick will go like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then I have to either explain it or Nick is like, "Why did you use that word?" Right?
Yeah, we usually pick on you, and not pick on. We're usually like, you could have literally just said this dumbed down version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I do dumb it down a lot, and I've had to do that multiple times throughout my life because I had to do that with my ex's friends as well, because
You also just have to do it with me.
her friends were just so stupid that it was an actual problem. But like, there was a story that my dad told me of when I learned the word sufficient, right? And it was like when I was like 6 or 7. It was when I was 6, because my dad was still around. And we went out to the store, and I was looking at toys, and he offered to buy 2 toys that I saw that I was debating between, because I was sitting there like doing that thing where you look at 2 and you're like, which one? And he's like, I'll just buy both of them, and then I just put one back, and I went, one will suffice. And he just paused for a second. He's like, I'm sorry, what? So, like, I have a feeling that, like, I'm not gonna be blessed with a child that does that.
It literally, and this is gonna,
It's a dice roll.
No, I mean this in the nicest. Well, it's going to depend on who the child is around. Because the child could have my personality, but be as smart as you. Or it could be your personality, but be as dumb as a box of rocks like I am.
I hope not.
And I hope our kid's not dumb either, because I'm more stupid. But then I'm also worried, like, our kid's not like either of us at all, and it's gonna be like, we have to go to, like, soccer games.
Again, we've had that discussion during Doom, and, like, I'm fine with that.
No, I want to go to, like, spelling bees and shit.
No, I hated spelling bees. I was in one once, and then I just was like, get me out of here.
So, there was a time that the only big word that I knew was counterintuitive.
Be as dumb as me.
What?
Just chat. Just being like, I can't have a kid as dumb as me. Gotta have a smart person.
And the best part is we can't even be like, be as smart as you, but have like my genetic makeup, because that if we have a son and it has my genetic makeup, that's fine. But if we have a daughter, I do not want them to have.
Bread. I mean, I've done stupid shit too, so.
But like, I just mean like my common sense and my book smarts are gone. I'm real stupid, which is why people don't like me. But the only word that I knew that was like a quote big word, and it's only because I watched an anime that had this word in it, and I was like, I can
very
do that.
smart for the eugenics.
I'm cute though, so. But
dropped out of university because I almost failed. I mean, in fairness, I only went to college because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I totally would have gone to university, but I didn't feel like spending the money. That's literally my reasoning for not getting a higher education, was I just didn't want to do the work and spend the money.
But I learned the word counterintuitive.
Okay.
And I waited, which I know is not that big of a.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that when I use it, you guys make fun of me for it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: I know what that word, right? And I learned it when I was 12 years old.
Quick question: what does that word mean? In fairness, English is probably not their native language, considering the origin of their money. And
so counterintuitive is like, it's contrary to like common sense.
Let me put it this way. To put it in the bluntest of terms, you need to put out a fire, and so you get a flamethrower, and you shoot it at the fire. That is counterintuitive to the original purpose. However, I will say, that is literally how they stop fires in some situations. They get a flamethrower, they do a controlled burn around the fire. So, you know, everything within reason.
So, I learned that word, right? I learned it from Orin High School Host Club.
What?
It's episode 12 when Kyoya gets like taken to go to like a commoner mall, and he's looking at candy, and he's just like, why do they make this candy with corn but make it try to taste like fruit? That seems counterintuitive. And I'm like, I don't know what that word means. I'm gonna look it up. Looked it up, and I'm like, I'm gonna save this word.
Here's the thing. I applaud that though. You are doing what is effectively the best way to learn, because you're finding something in a means that has interested in you, and then you have sought out the research yourself.
You want to know how I passed fucking 10th grade history? Hetalia.
No, Hitalia's fine.
when they talked about World War II, I was like, got this. I knew the Allies. I knew whatever the fuck the other one was called. The Axis powers.
I knew the other
Like,
one.
the other one. I knew like what countries, and they're like, "How do you know this?" And I just went like, "I'm just really good at history." And then meanwhile, it's like "Nene Mama" is playing in my head. I use that word counterintuitive. I forget the situation. I just know I was with my dad at the supermarket, and he said something, and he was just like, "That's," and he couldn't think of anything, and I just went counterintuitive, and he looked at me, and he had this moment in his eyes. My daughter's not stupid. Like, this is the moment that my daughter's going to be smart because she said something smart, and I'm like, nah, Dad, I'm still gonna fail chemistry. I'm sorry. Did you ever have to take chemistry in high school?
It was optional. I took biology.
What? We were forced to take chemistry,
So
and chemistry kicked my ass.
You wanna know, you wanna know a fun coincidence? I'm the
A
only person...
coinkydink?
I'm sorry, what?
A coinkydink?
I'm the only person that fainted during the... And this is gonna make you laugh because you're gonna understand immediately that it was not the cause of it. I was the only person that fainted during the dissection in biology in years.
It's because of the smell.
No. Fun fact, I was completely cool with the smell, I was completely cool with the dead body, I was ready and willing to start doing the work on it because I got to have gloves and it's science. It's not like I touched trash. It's like it's just, to put it as Pat says it, it's mind goblins, right? Like, garbage is garbage, stuff to do with other people is other people. I don't want to touch it, that's a food I don't like, I don't want it on my hands, but if you give me a pair of gloves and say pick up this dead rat, sure man, for science, right? But that happened to coincide with the week where I decided to not sleep or eat to test the limits of my body. And so I went back into the class after it was over the next week, and everybody was like, "Oh man, you like passed it. Like, are you okay? Like, man, it was really wild. I didn't expect you to be the one that was the cause of." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that was because I chose not to sleep or eat anything for 4 days." And everybody just was like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" Like, while I was like passing out and fainting, the guy that had to escort me to the office was like, "Dude, are you okay? Was it like the smell? Was it the animal?" I was like, "No, I haven't slept in 4 days." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "I haven't slept in literally 4 days, and I haven't had anything to drink today." And he's like, "It's summer." Like,
I'm
not saying that was a smart thing to do, by the way.
The longest I ever stayed up, because when we were kids,
Also,
we were like,
how
it was
did you do a
summertime.
pregnancy test. You're a guy. Did you just piss on it and be like, not pregnant?
We tried to stay up, Heather and I, because we like to do. We were like, I hate to say it, but we were best friends. But it's like, whatever she did, I had to do better, and whenever I did, she had to do. And so she was like, I'm gonna try to stay up, and I'm like, cool, we'll see who can stay up the longest. I won, by the way, but I stayed up so long that like I didn't know I have mild hallucination, like
Yeah,
you can hallucinate.
hallucinate.
Because I remember I was sitting there, like in my bedroom, and I was just staring. I'm like, my door's breathing.
You do a quiet job.
I was just staring at it. It was just breathing. Like, that's not normal. And so I messaged Heather on, this is when like AIM was still a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like, are you like seeing shit? And she's like, no, I fell asleep already. Didn't tell me that she had already didn't tell me that like she fell asleep. So like she fell asleep a day ago and I'm staying up still. I'm like, oh cool, well you can just hallucinate.
Yeah.
Both like visually and like
Kind of sad to let him go.
you can hear shit.
Content is extremely fascinating.
You weren't supposed to watch him. That
Which
was
is
the
why
deal.
like I don't
Oh, now you want to go by
want
the
to
book,
do
huh?
I don't think I could ever
Scrolls
do
contain
acid.
such a law-abiding picture of you.
Save the moralizing
Even if it's
bullshit.
like
Guess
it
was.
won't fry your brain. I don't
So
think
just
I ever
spill
could,
already.
because like seeing a door breathe scared the shit out of me.
Do I send this man to jail?
Yes.
Hold on. can I bring up?
Yes.
Can I bring up this? Because I don't.
Do I have to mute myself? Because like in about 10 seconds, I'm gonna make cake batter and just eat it out of the bowl.
That's fine. Go nuts and make sound in the background just so we can continue this. I went out to my teacher and went, damn, sorry to say, but I'm pregnant. I think it's twins. The baby daddy is gone since it was a one-night stand. It's been a while since I've seen a teacher that pissed. I was also the only guy in that class. I was in a class once where it was only myself and one other guy, and he was the former best friend of the guy that started dating my ex. And then when they started dating, cut him out. And so he kept trying to like befriend me because I guess he was like, well, you're mad about them too, right? And it was like, yeah, but for completely different reasons, man. And it's like, that kid just keeps threatening to try to kill me. Like I'm mad because he's a fucking crazy asshole. Like, I'm not mad. Like, there's a million other problems here. But then one day that kid, like, he was like a narcoleptic or something. He could sleep through the entire class. One day in the middle of class, he wakes up from his sleep and he just looks at me and he's like, Tyler, man, I got an idea. You got a shed at your house, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, dude, we should make meth.
Yeah. My cousin used to make meth in his pickup truck, and then one day it blew up because if you mix chemicals either too quickly, you mix the wrong ones, or you do like the wrong amounts of things, it can cause explosions. And so it poofed, and he had to go to the hospital, and he had to like make him an excuse like, oh, I think he said something like I took a glass bowl out of the washing machine or out of the dish, like the dishwasher, and then I put cold water in it and it shattered, and that's why I have glass in my hands. I'm like, while that does happen, well, that can happen, no, they're gonna look at your missing teeth and your like scabby face, and they're gonna know you're a cooking meth, you idiot. And I always tell my parents, like, I might be liberal, at least I don't cook meth in my pickup truck.
What I want.
Also, I didn't say yes because I don't want to cook meth.
Too bad. Not
Drugs
gonna happen.
aren't fun, guys.
Lock you up and throw away the key.
Ow!
Well, the most I've ever done is like gummies.
Alright, this is the... Oh, I can't hack him because he's NCPD. He has that stat. Ah, he shot me in the head and I died instantly! That's pretty funny. I was wondering if I would be able to hack him or not. But think of the money, Noid. I just wanted to see what would happen. I can always kill him afterwards. Oh, you're talking about the meth. You could use meth to fund your plastic meth. In fairness, I wasn't back into Warhammer yet. That was actually, relatively shortly after I had, like, there was less time between when I'd gotten out of Warhammer and now, for instance. Believe me, I do hope that, I might be able to somehow use second channel to just get somebody to...
I gotta pee, I'll be right back.
Warhammer bits.
Aaron, it's V.
Because I would love to just have somebody be able to just give me some bits.
Thought you were another one of those Serenity Bible whack jobs.
I'm gonna eat another piece of this orange.
So, hit any snags along the way?
Nope. Might as well have been a ghost.
You do a quiet job, huh?
Yeah, it's not a great
Don't
activity
show
to wake
off.
up
I
from,
admire
I'm
that.
gonna be honest.
All right, now hand over those scrolls already. Choppity chop chop, huh?
These scrolls are for some kind of investigation, right?
Mm-hmm. Real big stink, mind you. But thanks to your help, I can give it a push.
Kinda sad to let him go. Contents are truly
Gonna
fascinating.
snort some barbecue sauce.
You weren't
Get
supposed
some
to
water
watch.
since it's gonna be an
That was the
all-nighter.
deal.
I'm also gonna
Oh,
get
now
some
you wanna
water
go
in a
by the
second.
book, huh? Scrolls didn't
I'm,
paint such a law-abiding picture.
I'm on empty.
Save the moralizing bullshit. Guessing you want something, huh?
And I'm
So
not
just
sure if
spill
it's gonna
already.
be an all-nighter for me or not. Normally I do stay up all night, but I'm pretty tired. What does this guy here actually do that we're threatening him? I didn't pay enough attention because we were talking about various problems, but I think he's just been recording, tortures. 6, so I can't go back to my dorm until Sunday. Tested for the big baddie. Yeah, that's not good.
What I want's for you to be behind bars.
Basically, this guy commit the crimes.
Too bad. Not attack in the fucking bag.
Oh, Nicholas.
Looks like my dream came true.
You know me. I'm a people pleaser.
I made Johnny happy. So I'm happy. Nicholas, you're wrong about that gun. That gun is very satisfying. Damn, holy shit. We twisted up his head. Pair, your head will explode. Well, that's a little bit ironic now, isn't it? Oh, that's extremely funny, actually. Pair, your head will explode, says man whose head exploded. Why are these leopards eating my face? Says man who is part of leopards eating face party. Okay. Nothing else there for now. And I don't think there's anything else in his room that we can really loot. So we're gonna take a moment here. We're gonna take a minute once we get out of this building and complete this quest, where I'm going to go and get a drink. I'm simultaneously also going to use the time to go and urinate, because I have to use the washroom. Can we exit through the window? Yes, we can. I also love the idea of your dog judging you.
That differently. Aaron was a bastard, but a bastard with influence, and you had dirt on him. But what's done is done. Our client's dead and gone, which means so's our payment. You understand. Gig shut and forgotten.
Oh yeah, but it was very satisfying. I don't need money. Do you see how much cash I have? Who cares? I got to explode a man's head who's a scumbag. Got some cookies as well. Can't say the name of them because they're Danish and the name might sound bad. That's strange, but also reasonable. But I mean, we get a lot of like Danish cookies and stuff over here. But yeah, I'm gonna be right back. It's not about money, it's about sending a message. Precisely.